A slow, comforting journey through the nighttime lives of animals around the world, filled with gentle, sleepy facts to help you relax, feel safe, and drift deeply into rest. Let the noise of the day soften for a moment. You've done enough. You've tried enough. You've carried enough. Now all you need to do is listen. Tonight, we'll wander through the world after dark. We'll follow quiet paws on cool soil, soft wings in the night air, and tiny glowing lights drifting like sleepy stars among the trees. We'll explore gentle, comforting facts about nocturnal animals, creatures who feel most at home when the sun slips away. As you listen, you don't have to remember anything. You don't have to stay fully awake. Let the words pass over you like a soft blanket, like the moonlight on still water. If your eyes grow heavy, that's okay. If your thoughts drift off midway through a sentence, that's okay too. The animals will keep moving quietly through the night, whether you're listening closely or already asleep. Quiet wonders everywhere. If this kind of peaceful, sleepy wonder feels comforting to you, if you like drifting off to gentle science, soft stories, and calm facts, you're warmly invited to subscribe or to tap the like button, only if it feels easy. No pressure, no urgency, just one more cozy corner of the internet you can return to whenever you need to rest. One sleepy soul at a time, we're building a quiet little night garden of curiosity. And you're welcome here, exactly as you are. As the sun slips below the horizon, many animals feel something you might recognize in yourself, a shift. Light fades, colors soften, and the world cools. For some, this is the cue to rest. For others, it is the invitation to rise. Nocturnal animals are those who are most active at night. While we humans are usually diurnal, awake by day, asleep by night, these creatures turn the pattern upside down, moving under moonlight instead of under the sun. One gentle fact, for many of them, darkness isn't scary. It's comforting. The sun is bright and harsh. The night is cooler, quieter, and kinder to their senses. Some nocturnal animals, like owls and cats, have eyes specially adapted to low light. Their pupils open wide like doors, letting in every possible shimmer of moonlight. Behind the retina, some of them have a reflective layer called the tapetum lucidum, which bounces light back through the eye a second time. That's why when you shine a soft light near them, their eyes seem to glow, not with anything magical, just with careful, clever biology. Others, like many rodents and small mammals, don't rely on sight as much as smell and touch. They feel the contours of the world with whiskers and paws, tracing familiar paths in the dark, like you might walk safely through your own house at night. For desert animals, being active at night means avoiding the heat of the day. Instead of baking under the sun, they explore under gently cooling air, moving across sand that's finally letting go of its stored warmth. And for forest animals, the night can be a quiet stage where their voices carry farther. The calls of frogs, insects, and night birds weave together into the gentle soundscape many of us know as the sound of the countryside at night. While you rest, an entire hidden world is stretching, yawning, and beginning its nightly routine. Quiet wonders everywhere. Some of the most comforting lights of the night don't come from lamps or windows. They come from tiny bodies drifting in the warm, dark air. Fireflies, also called lightning bugs, are gentle beetles that produce their own light. This soft glow, called bioluminescence, is created by a quiet chemical reaction in their lower abdomen, like a tiny lantern that they carry with them everywhere they go. One sleepy fact, the light of a firefly is cold light. That means almost all of the energy goes into light and almost none into heat. A candle flame is warm, a firefly's glow is cool and efficient, perfect for a delicate little body that can't afford to waste energy. Fireflies flash patterns in the dark to talk to each other. Each species has its own rhythm, like a secret code. One species might blink twice, pause, and blink again. Another might give a slow, gentle pulse like a heartbeat. These signals help them find mates, keep track of each other, and sometimes even gently confuse predators. To us, it looks like scattered stars drifting through the trees. In some forests, there are synchronous fireflies. In certain places, whole groups of fireflies coordinate their flashes, lighting up together in waves. For a moment, everything glows, and then goes dark again. Glow, darkness, like the forest itself is breathing. Fireflies spend much of their lives as larvae, living quietly in the soil or under leaves, hidden away. They use their glow then to a soft, steady light that likely says, "I'm not good to eat," to potential predators. Even as children of the earth, they shine. And when they finally take to the air, their adult lives are often quite short, just long enough to rise into warm evening air, drift above grasses and streams, and share their delicate lantern codes with one another. If you've ever watched them on a warm night, you may have felt something calm in your chest, a sense that even in the dark, there are gentle, glowing signals quietly saying, "I am here. You are not alone." Quiet wonders everywhere. When we think of the night, many of us picture an owl, calm, still, watching from a branch. Owls are not symbols of fear here. They're symbols of quiet attention, of being awake when the rest of the world sleeps. An owl's feathers are specially shaped for silence. The edges of their flight feathers are soft and fringed, breaking up the air that flows around them. Where another bird might make a whooshing sound as it flies, an owl's wings whisper. This helps them glide close to their prey, but it also means that if you could somehow float beside them, you would hear almost nothing at all, just the gentle movement of the night around you. Their eyes are large, so large that they can't really move them in their sockets like we move ours. Instead, their necks are incredibly flexible. An owl can turn its head about 270 degrees in either direction. Not all the way around, like a full circle, but far enough that it feels almost like magic. In truth, their neck bones and blood vessels are simply adapted to handle this twist safely. Inside those eyes, their retinas are rich with light-sensitive cells called rods, helping them see well in low light. But even so, scientists believe that owls may rely as much on hearing as on vision. Some species have asymmetrical ears, one a little higher than the other, letting them detect tiny differences in when a sound reaches each ear. This gives them a 3D map of sounds in the dark: the rustle of a mouse, the scrape of a twig, the flutter of a moth. If you look closely at an owl's face, you may notice a rounded disc shape. Those feathers act almost like a satellite dish, funneling sound toward their hidden ears. The owl's face isn't just expressive, it's a listening instrument. Despite their reputation as fierce hunters, many owls are small, shy, and easily disturbed. They prefer quiet forests, fields, and old trees where they can sit undisturbed, watching and listening. They are the slow, steady watchers of the night. As you rest, imagine an owl perched calmly on a tall branch, feathers puffed up against the cool air, eyes half-lidded, drifting between alertness and stillness. The world below is hushed. There is no rush, just the soft patience of a creature fully at home in the dark. Quiet wonders everywhere. Bats are sometimes misunderstood, but in truth, they are gentle engineers of the night. Most bats are small, light, and delicate. Their wings are made of thin, flexible skin stretched over long, finger-like bones. In fact, you could think of a bat's wing as a hand, extended into the air, feeling the currents in real time. One of the most comforting facts about bats is how much they help the world. Many species eat insects, mosquitoes, moths, and beetles, quietly reducing pest populations without any noise or fuss. Others sip nectar from night-blooming flowers, becoming pollinators in the dark. Some bats help spread seeds, flying from fruit tree to fruit tree, scattering new life across forests. Bats are famous for echolocation, their way of seeing with sound. They send out high-pitched calls, often far above what human ears can hear, and listen carefully for the echoes. From these echoes, their brains build a picture of the world, where the trees are, where the ground is, where a tiny insect is fluttering in midair. It's like living inside a constant, invisible map, refreshed many times a second. You could imagine each soft call as a question to the night, "What's around me now?" And each echo as a calm, clear answer, "You are safe. Here's the path." During the day, many bats huddle together in cool, dark roosts, caves, hollow trees, old buildings. They hang upside down, not because they are strange, but because their wings are better designed for dropping into flight than for pushing off from the ground. This upside-down resting is peaceful for them, letting blood and weight distribute in ways their bodies are used to. Baby bats called pups cling to their mothers with tiny thumbs and teeth. In colonies, mothers and pups can recognize each other by sound and smell, even among thousands of individuals. The night sky, which might seem empty from far below, is actually full of careful, loving searches and reunions. As you lie here, maybe you can imagine a gentle cloud of bats high above, turning and weaving together as if they're painting invisible strokes on the sky. They are not symbols of fear tonight. They are symbols of navigation, of finding your way through a dark space with quiet confidence, quiet wonders everywhere. Many of the cats we live with, our house cats, are crepuscular or even semi-nocturnal. They like the gentle edges of the day, dawn and dusk, early night and early morning. If you've ever had a cat, you might know the feeling of being watched by a pair of glowing eyes in the dark, followed by the soft patter of paws across the floor. Cats have large pupils that can open wide in low light, letting in more of each faint photon. Their tapetum lucidum reflects what light does enter, giving them another chance to see it. To you, this shows up as that soft, otherworldly eye shine when a light catches them just right. For the cat, it means they can navigate quietly through your home at night, weaving between furniture with ease. Their whiskers, called vibrissae, are also important in the dark. Each whisker is deeply rooted and connected to sensitive nerves, letting the cat feel air currents and objects nearby. They can sense door frames, table legs, and narrow spaces, even when it's too dim to see clearly. It's like having a ring of extra fingers, constantly reading the shape of the world. On a smaller scale, wild relatives like sand cats and black-footed cats hunt in desert or savanna nights using similar tools. Wide eyes, sensitive whiskers, quiet paws. Their fur often blends softly with the landscape, not the bright camouflage of bold stripes, but the gentle camouflage of sand and shadow. Your sleepy companion curling into a ball at the foot of your bed carries echoes of these nighttime wanderers. When you hear their gentle purr in the dark, it's like the sound of a small, calm engine idling in neutral, soothing, steady, reassuring. To a cat, the night is not an emptiness, it's a playground of edges, scents, and soft, muffled sounds. As you drift off, they might be quietly mapping their world, then eventually curling up, eyes slowly closing, sharing the same darkness, the same quiet, the same rest, quiet wonders everywhere. In the desert, daytime can be intense and overwhelming. The sun presses down and the ground radiates heat skyward. But when night comes, the temperature drops and the world feels more balanced, more forgiving. Many desert animals are nocturnal or crepuscular, choosing to move when the sands are cooler. The fennec fox, with its oversized ears, is a perfect example. Those large ears help release heat and also pick up tiny sounds. The shuffling of insects, the faint movement of a lizard under the sand. Its fur is pale, blending perfectly with moonlit dunes. Its paws are covered in soft fur too, helping it walk on hot sand and giving it a quiet step. Under the stars, a fennec fox might trot softly along the crest of a dune, nose down, ears alert, searching for food while the desert sighs and cools. Small rodents like jerboas emerge at night as well. With long tails and long hind legs, they hop across the sand in delicate arcs, leaving tiny footprints that look like careful punctuation marks behind them. In the morning, if the wind hasn't erased them, those tracks tell the whole story of their nightly journey. Many reptiles also adjust their schedule. Some lizards and snakes prefer to move in the evening or at night, when their bodies can still hold warmth from the day. But the surface isn't painfully hot. They slide and scurry through cool shadows, guided by scent, warmth, and memory. Looking up, the desert sky is often astonishingly clear. Stars stretch from horizon to horizon, and the Milky Way may be visible as a soft, glowing band. While people sleep in distant cities, desert animals live under this cosmic ceiling every night, their tiny lives unfolding under galaxies and falling stars. As you rest, you might imagine that you too are lying under that wide open sky, the warm sand slowly giving off its heat beneath you, night animals beginning their quiet routines all around. They are not in a hurry. They move with the same slow patience you can feel in your breath. Quiet wonders everywhere. For many of us, the sound of nighttime is the sound of insects singing. Crickets produce their familiar chirping by rubbing parts of their wings together, a process called stridulation. Each species has its own rhythm and pitch, a unique pattern that carries softly through the grass and underbrush. The rate of cricket chirps can change with temperature. Warmer nights often mean faster chirping, cooler nights, slower. It's as if the night itself is playing a gentle metronome through these tiny musicians. Katydids, cousins of crickets, create different sounds, often more continuous or raspy, blending into a steady background hum. Together, crickets and katydids create a layered soundscape, like overlapping blankets of gentle noise. This steady, predictable sound is why many people find cricket noise or night sounds deeply relaxing. Our brains love patterns, and these patterns say everything is normal, everything is calm. Some frogs join the choir, especially near ponds and wetlands. Their calls can be simple croaks, melodic trills, or rhythmic peeps. Each call has a purpose: to find a mate, to claim a small piece of space, but to our ears, they're part of the same soft symphony. These nighttime sounds are not random. They are signals, overlapping messages traveling through warm air and cool breezes. Yet from a distance, they smooth out into a continuous hush, a natural white noise that many of us associate with safety, summer, and rest. As you listen to your own environment, maybe quiet, maybe faintly noisy, you can imagine that underneath it all, somewhere in the world, right now, countless small creatures are creating their gentle night music perfectly on time, quiet wonders everywhere. When night falls on the surface of the ocean, another kind of night stretches into the depths below. For many creatures, darkness is not just a time of day, but a permanent condition. Lanternfish are small, silvery fish that live in the deeper parts of the ocean. They have light-producing organs called photophores along their bodies, creating soft dots of blue or green light in the dark water. At night, many lanternfish migrate closer to the surface to feed, then sink back down during the day. It's one of the largest daily migrations on Earth, happening quietly far beneath the waves. Certain species of squid are also masters of the dark. Some can glow, some can change color, and some use their light to camouflage against the faint light coming from the surface. They create what's called counter-illumination, matching the brightness of the water above them so that predators looking up see only an even glow, not a silhouette. To us, these animals might seem alien, but their routines are gentle and predictable like any other animals. Swim, feed, avoid danger, rest, repeat night after night, year after year. Farther up, closer to the surface, dolphins and other marine mammals sometimes rest one half of their brain at a time, keeping the other half awake enough to surface for air. They drift through the water in slow, careful movements, one eye open, one eye closed, sharing the night with glowing plankton and slow waves. If you've ever watched the ocean at night, you might have seen bioluminescent plankton, tiny organisms that flash when disturbed, turning each breaking wave into a line of pale blue light. Imagine entire schools of fish, pods of dolphins, and swirling currents, leaving trails of light in their wake like brushstrokes on a dark canvas. While you sleep, the sea is alive with quiet motion, light, and breath, following patterns that have existed for millions of years. Quiet wonders everywhere. Not all birds are early risers. Some, like nightjars and nighthawks, prefer the dim light of dusk and night. Nightjars have soft, mottled feathers that blend perfectly with leaf litter and tree bark. During the day, they lie flat along branches or on the ground, almost impossible to spot. At night, they rise and glide, catching insects in midair with their wide mouths. Nighthawks, often seen circling high above cities or fields at dusk, swoop and twist as they feed on flying insects. Their calls and wing beats blend into the slowly darkening sky. Seeing one drift across a purple-blue evening is like watching a piece of the twilight itself take flight. Some birds, even those that are mostly active in the day, migrate at night. They use the stars, the Earth's magnetic field, and perhaps even scents carried on the wind to navigate. From the ground, the sky might look quiet, but far above, flocks are moving steadily, wingbeat by wingbeat, guided by ancient patterns. Scientists have recorded faint flight calls from these migrating birds, tiny contact notes drifting down to the earth as they pass overhead. Most of us never hear them, but they're there. Small conversations in the dark. Here I am. I'm with you. Keep going. As you sink deeper into rest, you can imagine those distant wings beating slowly through the night, each bird carrying its own quiet determination and its own need for safe passage. Quiet wonders everywhere. Even large animals have their own nighttime habits, gentle and unhurried. Elephants, for instance, may travel and feed at night in some regions, enjoying the cooler air. Their enormous feet spread their weight softly across the ground, making their footfalls surprisingly quiet for such large bodies. A small herd walking under a starlit sky might sound like distant, rhythmic breaths rather than heavy steps. Giraffes sleep only in short bursts, often standing up, sometimes lying down. They tend to take many tiny naps rather than one long one, always staying somewhat alert to the world around them, even in the dark. Their long legs and necks, silhouetted near acacia trees, create dreamlike shapes against the moon. Many grazing animals, deer, antelope, zebra, adjust their schedules based on temperature, predators, and human activity. They might graze in the cool of the night or early morning, slowly moving as a group, ears tilted, tails swishing, breathing together in the dim light, Even animals who seem fierce in documentaries have quiet, tender moments at night. Lions resting together, cubs tucked between adults, wolves curled up against one another in a den or on snow, using each other's body heat to stay warm. Most of their hours are not spent chasing anything, they're spent dozing, grooming, and simply existing. The night softens sharp edges. Teeth are hidden behind closed mouths, eyes close, breaths slow. Just like you, these animals need recovery and safety, and they find it in the calm pockets of darkness scattered across the world, quiet wonders everywhere. When the air cools and dew begins to form, small creatures emerge to build and explore. Orb weaver spiders often construct their webs in the evening, spinning delicate patterns between branches, fences, or grasses. Each strand is placed with purposeful practice movements. By morning, dew may cling to the threads, turning them into jeweled circles that glisten briefly in the first light. The spider itself usually waits quietly at the center or at the edge, motionless, feeling for vibrations along the silk. To us, the web looks fragile. To the spider, it's a carefully tuned instrument. Snails and slugs prefer damp, cool conditions. At night, when the air is moist and the sun won't dry them out, they glide along on muscular feet, leaving silvery trails behind. They explore garden beds, fallen leaves, and patches of moss, tasting their way slowly across the landscape. Beetles, millipedes, and countless other small beings join them, sifting through soil and leaf litter. They break down dead plant material, turning it into rich earth that feeds future life. The night, for them, is a time of quiet construction and transformation. If you could shrink down and walk among them, the nighttime garden would feel busy yet peaceful, a slow-motion city of tiny bodies working on tasks they've performed for millions of nights, quiet wonders everywhere. In low light, many animals rely less on sight and more on other senses. Nocturnal mammals often have a heightened sense of smell. They read the air like a book, catching messages left behind by others. A trail here, a warning there, a hint of food or safety. Sound carries farther in the cool, still night air. Wolves howling, owls calling, frogs singing. Each sound can travel long distances, allowing animals to communicate without being physically close. These sounds weave the night together, forming an invisible network of signals. Touch is important too. Whiskers on cats, rats, and seals, sensitive skin on the noses of pigs and bears. Even the soles of many animals' feet have specialized receptors that help them sense vibrations in the ground, footsteps, running water, distant movement. In the dark, the world becomes a tapestry of smells, sounds, and textures. Eyes close a little, but the rest of the body opens. As you rest, your own senses gently shift as well. Visual details fade, the room becomes shapes and shadows. But you might notice small sounds, a refrigerator hum, distant traffic, a bird outside, the softness of your pillow, the warmth of your blanket. You too are an animal of the night right now, rearranging which signals you pay attention to. Quiet wonders everywhere. As all these animals move through the darkness, owls on their branches, foxes in their fields, fish in their glowing currents, you are here, in your own small, safe space. You don't have to cross a forest or swim an ocean tonight. Your journey is quieter, from wakefulness into dreams. All over the world, in deserts, forests, cities, gardens, and deep seas, creatures are following their nightly routines. They are not perfect. They are not trying to be anything other than what they are. They simply exist, doing what they know how to do moment by moment. You are part of this story too. Your heartbeat is another quiet rhythm in the great nighttime symphony. Your breath is another tide moving gently in and out. If thoughts come, Let them drift by like distant owls in the treetops, like bats looping softly overhead. You don't need to chase them. You don't need to argue with them. They can pass on, and new thoughts can take their place until even thoughts become soft and blurred. Right now, nothing is being asked of you. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to be as you are, tired, thoughtful, peaceful, or somewhere in between. As you lie here, imagine a world gently turning into night on one side, into day on the other. Animals waking, animals sleeping, waves moving, trees breathing, stars burning quietly in the darkness, whether we see them or not. You are held in this vast, calm web of life. You are a small, precious part of a very large, very old story. And now you can let go for a while. You can give the night back to the nocturnal animals and give yourself to sleep. Quiet wonders everywhere. Quiet wonders inside you, too.